I'm no longer muted. All right, fam, what's up? All right, let's jump into this. I do not want this to take long because this is right in the middle kind of my workday, so I have things I need to do. But yeah, I was on my morning walk this morning and just listening to something else, and then it kind of brought an idea back to my head. And so for me, that means turning it into something. And so what I want to talk to you about is how you can take an idea, an area of knowledge that you have, and turn it into a full um, information based product. And I mean, even if you only charge $5 or $4.99 or $9.99, is can you create something of value that would be useful to other people that they'd be willing to reach into their pocket to do? So if I say to you, go create an information based product, right, which is mostly a how to. You can do it on what is, if you're explaining a concept or an idea, that's great too. And I would think, given this number of years that you've been on the planet, you have amassed something that matters to someone. And so, what I'm going to kind of show you is, I'll call it the fast and sort of dirty way to do it. But the outputs are great, and again, uh, really usable. So let's first talk about where these ideas come from, which, by the way, I could actually create a whole information product on how to generate ideas, right? How to figure out what people want, right? Because I believe that part of the challenge in today's environment is, this is the idea economy, in my opinion. Um, and I think that problems are the new alchemy. The things that bother people, the things that piss them off, the things that are an inconvenience for them is an opportunity for you to create something to solve that, or at least to soothe that, which is what people want. And so I just learned from listening to people what it is that bothers them, pisses them off, is an inconvenience to them, and that can create the opportunity. I probably need to move this so I can see if there's what's up, Brony Cat. So, and again, if you're on, please share this out. I think this is it's on the Pivot Play Podcast YouTube page. It's on my page on Facebook, and it should be in the Pivot Play Podcast group. As a matter of fact, let me just turn this on. I don't want to miss anything from anybody who might be asking me a question, because that's what we're here for. All right, so let me jump into this. So for me, the process can be much larger. Um, And so the piece I'm not going to show you today, but you should be able to get to it, is figuring out whether or not this idea, this area of knowledge is useful. Is there a market for it? Is there a customer, right? That's a whole other thing. But in terms of what you could share, I mean, he's like, oh, I don't know anything. Well, you know something. I don't care if you just know how to use, better ways to use public transportation in your own city, right? That's going to be valuable to someone, right? What are the six rules of, ordering an Uber or a Lyft? Maybe ways to get discounted tickets on airfare, or how to shop for discounts, or how to build a barter community, amongst your friends and family, where you do this person does that, and you guys work together, right? It just There's all kinds of ways you can create information products, effectively how to's, how to do it better, or explain it to someone what it is. All right, so I'm going to tell you what my idea is, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this. So when I have an idea or a thought about something, I will oftentimes pick up my phone and I will just dictate it, right? And so if there's an article or something that I want to do, I dictate it into my phone, and that way I have it. Sometimes I will put a note in, like, Notepad or something like that, but this is where it starts for me. It's talking through what I'm thinking, what I'm questioning, what I might want to better understand. That is the basis of content, people. This is the basis of content, and a lot of things that I do start along this path. And then what I do after that is I will take that and then I will get a transcript. So now I have it, my words and letters is not perfectly formed, could have ums and ahs and whatever. Can you misspell a word when you're speaking? I don't know. It's possible. But that's where it starts for me. So I need a transcript. All right. So now let's just jump into this right this second. and show you. Please show the right thing. Okay. All right. So I'm taking you into a tool called Centra X, which gives you a bunch of sort of AI agents, right? If I take you to over here, these are all my agents, right? And if you ever use this platform, I'll drop a link or something. I think it gets you a discount, but I really didn't bring you on here to sell you anything. Just kind of telling you this is one of the tools that I use. And I use it because if you look at each one of these, they each do something different, right? This is Buddy for business development. So overall, I have an idea. So I could have taken this initial idea and given it to Buddy, given that transcript and say, this is what I'm thinking for an information product. What do you think? Buddy goes to work and does amazing stuff and gives you a framework. So that's one way to vet your idea. So that's cool. Sochi does social media. Um, Comet will actually build you a quick website, customer service, skipping through all that. So what I did though, I'm going to work with Pen, right? So I'm going to go to Pen. And so hopefully I didn't lose what I created. Um, do. Maybe I did. All right, it won't even matter if I didn't save it. Because I can kind of tell you what I did with this tool. What I did with it was to give it the raw transcript and say, turn this into content that I can use to create an information-based product. And so it gave me a PDF or a Word file. And then so that's the easy part. And then I kind of review that and I had some other ideas. So we edit it and kind of build that over time. I really should be able to find that in the brain. See if I can find my document. They use something called the brain. What's here? What's in my brain? That's how they store stuff. Okay, here it is. Let's view this. Let's view this. All right. Yeah. So let me just show you this really quickly. So it's stored it in the brain, but I couldn't see it um, in the chat. So if you see over here, what does that do? I don't even know what that does. All right, let's go here. All right. So this is basically my idea that it turned it into a full document, a full framework. And again, along the lines of breaking out the idea, what it is, but then how to overcome it. This one in particular is talking about the psychology of big numbers, right? Because I understand that if you have a dream, mission, or vision, it's there are no cheap visions, right? And so along that line of thinking, I wanted to I put those ideas down and then I go from there. So I have a document, I have the basis of what my product would be, but now I need to turn it into something. All right, and this is when it gets fun. And so I'm going to take you to another platform called Notebook LM, right up here, Notebook LM. This is a Google product. Um, this is free. They have a paid version, but this is free. So what was the one I did last week on legacy? That was all done in here, right? And it's a really neat way to working on it. So the psychology of big dollars, you see it right here. So let's click on that. And what you can see here, over here in the sources, the psychology of big dollars, the content pack, that is the document that came out of Centra that I give to this, but you could have gotten this from ChatGPT. You could have done it in Word. It could be from something you've already developed or have. And then so when it ingests this, it then gives you a summary. And then there's some other cool stuff that you want to do. All right. But what I said to you was, so let's say it's something that you think will be of interest, but it's not your area of expertise. That's what this whole thing is over here with the sources, right? So you can say, I want to know about this, and you can go over here and have it search, and it's going to go out and find you a bunch of different resources. You simply click on the ones that you want to use as sort of the body of knowledge that you're going to build around. Click on those, and then that's it, right? But right away, I can take my own document and start to build content out of it. So watch this. So this says, again, this is Psychology of Big Dollars. It'll be on I'll post it later. You'll get to see what it is. But anyway, how does subconscious scarcity conditioning create a ceiling that limits personal financial achievement? Let's just click on that and see what we get. So now this is taking my content and I can start to ask questions of my own content. It goes through a whole thing here. The zeros insight, which is pretty cool, distinguishing general possibility from personal identity, subconscious sabotage and external alignment, all this wonderful stuff. And I can say, you know what? Save this note. And now it moves it over to this side of the screen. And this is really kind of all the packaging for your kind of your product. Um, Here's one. How can I identify my specific money comfort ceiling? So, in terms of an information-based product, this could be an exercise for people to do. To identify your specific money comfort ceiling, you must move beyond intellectual concepts and pay close attention to your subconscious pressure point. And this is the thing where I kind of talk about the difference between $6, $60, $600, 6,000, 60,000, 6 million, that sort of thing. 600,000 and 6 million, because the number of zeros kind of tells you kind of where your temperament is, for big dollars. So this kind of takes that concept and turns it into, and then how can I shift? Well, let's go ahead and save that as a note, save that to a note as well. And then how can I shift my identity to accept bigger outcomes? So this, I could just keep this going. And this is just from one document. All right. But that would be good enough, right? But let me show you the power of this thing. And again, I'm still on the free account. I haven't found a reason to update it yet. So it will produce for me an audio. So if you listen to the legacy thing and it was like a podcast, that's where this came from. All right. So where is it? It is down here. Check this out.
To the fuel, the actual fuel required to run the engine.
Exactly. And that is what we are digging into today. We are doing a deep dive into the work of Jerry A. Thompson Jr., specifically his analysis of the psychology of big dollars. And I think we should put a disclaimer right up front because I know what people hear when you say dollars.
Right. If you're tuning in expecting crypto tips or stock option strategies or maybe a lecture on how to stop buying lattes to become a millionaire,
Yeah.
that's not this.
That's not what this is.
Right.
Plus.
Not even close. This isn't about your investment portfolio.
Yeah.
This is about the internal architecture of your mind. It's about...
All right. So we'll stop right there. So one of the things I love about this is just Jay, check this out when you're free. This is why I love you, Abronia. And so right there, what I love about this sort of, they call it a deep dive, but these other two minds talking about my content just sort of raises the level of credibility. And because it has access to knowledge, it will oftentimes go out and refine some of those ideas. So I find it really good to hear my own ideas back. But when I go here to create the audio, I'm going to hit the pencil so I can do the deep dive. This, what you just heard a snippet of. I can turn it into a brief. I can turn it into a critique or a debate between the two, and then I can come here and give it additional instructions about how I want to shape it. I can do it for the length, and so that's about 18 minutes long, which is for let's say a $4.99 information product. It's fine. No worries at all. Um, so I can begin to shape what this content is, right? And then I can do some other things. Like you may have seen the it's called an infographic of the concept. So let me show you that. Please display on my screen because I hadn't done this before. So this is taking that entire concept now and putting it into a beautifully made infographic. I did nothing to make this happen, but it kind of walks you through it, right? Mastery over the zeros, right? The psychology of big dollars. It talks about the what and the how, because that's what I told it I wanted. I said I want to distinguish between the what in terms of the basis of this psychology or philosophy, and then the how. How do you overcome it? I want to give people the answer, right? So it talks about the zeros insight. Um, Yeah, this is all still Notebook LM. Yep, haven't left Notebook LM. This is all within L, and that's what I'm saying. You can get all of your content out of this thing. Um, your subconscious meter, real world blocking points, identifying the friction point, and then the how, align possible with what is possible for you. That's a specific quote from my content. Focus on value delivery. Accustom yourself to the ecosystem. And why do I say that? It's because if you have a dream, mission, or vision, first of all, there are no cheap ones. They all require money. So the idea is there's an ecosystem. There's money that's required to fuel it. There's money that's used to operate it. There's money that comes in by virtue of its delivering on its value, right? That's what people pay you. And then you pay out something. So that's the ecosystem. But as you grow, the dollars get bigger. And sometimes they're big on the front end. Like if your mission, dream, or vision needed $600,000. For some people, that's a stopping point, right? That once they understand that, they're done. But but why can't you amass $600,000? Why can't you do some other things to step you into that? I'll do this. This will get me 10,000. This will get me this. This will get me that, or whatever. But it's just the mere fact that the zeros chase people away. That's kind of what's at the heart of this. All right. So let's close that. But again, all in Notebook LM. So let's go to this is the handouts, right? So this is more content on notes that you can provide to people in different formats, and because you can tweak and tune these things. But what I really want to show you? Big money identity. It actually turned this into a deck for me. So let's make this a little bigger so we can take a look at it. Why don't they like that? Okay, we're good here. All right, I'll refresh that. I don't know why I didn't want to show it to me. But now it's just basically going through, different aspects of this philosophy or this psychology. What you see as possible, what you see as possible for you. So, if someone were teaching this, this could be the deck that they would use. But again, the prompts that I give it are along the lines of self-learners, DIY, things that people can do on their own. And maybe this becomes a companion to something else. And why we do this? Because people have different ways of learning. All right. Now, all right. So we've done all that. I they just keep making this stuff better. So I get impressed with it myself. I can actually run this as a slideshow. Beautiful on that. And then all those other things that we did. So let's say I wanted a mind map, right? I'm just going to go ahead and let it create that, and we'll come back. And so so now you have all this. What do you do with it? Well, one is you can just take this stuff and bundle it up into um, into a zip file. PayPal is probably one of the easiest ways to do it. You don't have to go through all that Stripe or whatever, or just have people, Zelle you the dollars, and then you just send them the link or the files. And that whole thing about if I send it to them, they'll share it out and copy it, assume that that's going to happen, right? And so what would I do to counter that? What I'm going to do is I am going to put more. I'll stop sharing for right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put more information in there about me. So you'll notice that when it started, the sort of that podcast, the deep dive, it mentions me, right? I'm going to establish myself as the expert while I'm doing this. Uh, Riri says she's late. You got to watch it from the beginning, but this is going to it's super simple what I'm showing you. So, but when I first did it in Sentra, it just created the document. I was like, nope, go back and add the attributions, right? It has to add stuff. And Sentra I use to support some of that writing because Sentra has a bunch of my writing, so it knows how to write in my voice, to use analogies, bullet lists and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I use it. But I went back and said, give me the attributions, align this to me. And so if you are pasted throughout, someone pays you $5 or $10 for your info product, and then they share it with somebody, well, that other person's going to learn about you too, and then you become their expert. So it is no way to stop it. So I'm saying just get over that. Don't let that be the reason you wouldn't do this. right? Because still from that, you can build your audience, you build credibility, you've established yourself as the expert, and who knows what comes from that from someone that it just happened to fall into their hands. Get over it, right? Just don't let that be the impediment. Because right now, what I can do is I can come here and I can hit share, and now I have a link, right, of people that I can share this out with. If they have a Gmail account, I can have it go specifically to them. It makes it more difficult for people to share, but then they come into Notebook LM to access it. You can do that too. So you can use that as your delivery vehicle. You don't have to email um, or mail out anything other than the link to someone, right? And if you really know some backroom stuff, then there's ways to automate even that part of it. And so there's really not much more to it than that. I mean, you can go through here because let me show you one last time. So y'all don't miss this. This is too easy. This is way too simple. And tell me in the chat, does any of this look like something difficult to do? All right, just tell me, does it look difficult? Where am I? Okay, I'm just looking for comments. Give me one moment, please. I'm looking for comments. So tell me, is this difficult or not? And you have an area of knowledge, you have an area of expertise. If you do not, Notebook LM will give it to you. ChatGPT, Gemini will give it to you, right? Like, I want to come up with ideas around, again, travel, shopping, saving money, buying cars, how to negotiate it for, when buying a bit. I don't, it doesn't really matter. Think about the things that people do every day and the things that people, which whine, bitch, and complain about. Maybe that's what witching is, whining and bitching at the, at the same time. But, again, these are all easy buttons. I can go here um, and have it create a video. I just had to create a mind map. No idea what it's going to look like. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, so core philosophy, and it just kind of breaks out my idea. Um, I'm a big mind map dude. I don't know if other people are, but in terms of ways to learn concepts, but it just created a mind map just because I asked it to. And so all that heavy lifting gets done for you. Let's do one last one. Again, if you want people to be able to practice on these concepts, you can go here and say refine this, or you just say generate. And again, these are all easy buttons. So it's going to create some flashcards so people can get to see where they are. But if I want to fine tune what they're going to see, then I can give it those instructions that I can really shape my product. All right, is somebody telling me, is this easy or not? It doesn't look difficult, but it might be difficult for me until I get, yeah, of course. All right. Um, yeah, and I would say give yourself a couple turns through it. The good thing is, again, what you get by using the free version is going to say Notebook LM. Their watermark is going to be on it. At this stage, I don't, I don't care. I don't. Um, yeah, I could definitely take this and bundle it up, right? And guess what? Let me show you how easy this is. What I'm doing for you right now, showing you how to use, um, audio recordings and transcripts and Centra and Notebook LM to create information-based products. Just what I'm doing right here in this 25 minutes I've been on here. This is the basis for an information-based product. Right? All I need to do is grab the transcript from this. Right? I could even use segments of the video that's going to come. You see what I'm saying? Like everything is information, everything is an opportunity to become a product or create value. But I want to show you all how to do this. This is what I want to do with Gray Code, showing you how to create information-based products. For those who are inclined, showing you how to create applications, or showing you how to use it to shape products and services. This is low friction, low cost that can have tremendous back end, right? What if you created 5 of them, but only one of them took off? What are your losses? The other 4 are just helping you learn better how to do it. I want you to see the possibilities, because, again, a year ago, a year and a half ago, I would have said to you, you need to learn how to use these AI tools. That was my message. Learn how to use these tools. I think that's over with already. We've already moved on. You now need to become a creator with these tools, right? In the same way, like we did, we came on here and we did We did the listening party for our AI artist. Could I not create an information-based product on the process that I used to create Amina, right? And Jaden, and then how I created their music and what I used for their lyrics, and could I not do that? You understand what I'm saying? So these are the possibilities that you have out there. This is the idea economy. This is the information age. I'm showing you easy ways to create information-based product. All right, give me any more questions that you have if you're on before I end this. It'll be out here. You should be able to go look at it again. Ask me questions. I need you all to do this. And here's what I found. Some of you engage, some of you don't. But then I find out later, y'all be doing this stuff. Y'all do it. You try it. I know people who are actually doing some of the stuff that I'm talking to you about, but I don't know why you guys don't talk to me about it. I don't understand. But I think at some point, if I don't think anybody's listening, I'll just crawl back in my cave and just create and do what I normally do, which is just to make stuff, right? The coding thing I think is fascinating. I know it's not for everybody. Um, but like for Optivist, I'll say this lastly, for Optivist, we create applications. So you go through several stages, right? The first stage is vetting the idea, right? Is this a marketable idea? Then we actually start the building of it. That's the second phase. The third phase is the final vetting and the testing and getting other people to start to use the tools. And the fourth one is when we actually take it to market. So there's a lot of steps in there. And sometimes we get kind of tripped up over ourselves, right? Um, so I worked in one of our AI products to create that list, but then I took that list and gave it to one of our coders. Now we have an application that we can use to catalog where we are with all of our applications. We don't ever intend to sell that, but it makes our work easier. And it took me almost no time to do. That's what I mean. Low friction. How do I move fast? Um, Ree, if you're still on here, did you start with Celestial Mandate? I'm getting really phenomenal feedback about that software that we're going to bring to market. If you're not afraid, uh, you said I wanted to research coding as an extra form of income, but I changed my mind. Why did you change your mind? Tell me why you changed your mind. Tell me why you changed your mind. Oh, you started it. So how did it? What did you get anything out of it, Ree? Brony, why did you change your mind? And when you say coding, do you mean like old school coding, like from scratch, writing line by line, or using these super amazing tools that we have? Which one are you talking about? I need to know. Because if you were starting to learn the code from scratch, I would tell you don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Your time is better spent learning how to use these tools where you can use other tools, sort of like my process for building these information-based products to actually shape out your idea, tell you if it's viable. Um, okay, got it. Oh, and for the guides, they now can talk to you. I did that last night, and I'm going to pins down. I'm not going to do anything else to it. But um, the reading is fine, but to have those guides be able to talk to you, I think is pretty cool. Um, and they are very, very powerful. So use the guides. I changed my mind because I was afraid. There you go, that word. You're afraid you wouldn't be able to do it correctly. So let me just say this: with using any of these AI tools, I don't think that there's a right and a wrong way, but there is good, better, best. There's degrees of how efficient and effective you can be with them. Like for instance, one of our tools, Complete Prompt, which creates master prompts or what are called super prompts. From a couple little things that you type in, you get this. So the outputs are going to be much better than what you could do on your own, right? Because most people who prompt, which everything takes some level of prompting, people think they're really good. They're not. And I don't mean that critically, they're just not. What we build are tools to help you just rub the genie lamp just right so you get all your three wishes. But it's not about right and wrong. It's about good, better, best. And so there's some foundational things that you need to do. And again, that's what Gray Code is going to be about, showing you how to, from scratch, interact with these tools. Your level of technical knowledge becomes less of a barrier every day. I've been doing this for probably 2.5, 3 years, hard in the paint, and it's just getting easier. So let me give you one example, Abronia. So this new tool that's coming out, Celestial Mandate, which is that thing is awesome. But so Celestial Mandate has these 5 guides, right? These personas. So there's an astrologer, there's a depth psychologist, there's a life coach, there's a somatic coach, there's a partnership coach or something like that. And I was like, man, wouldn't it be neat if they could talk to you? Now you can have a conversation with them. We do that in other apps. Well, 6 months ago, that would have been a whole thing. I got to go here and grab an API and do it. I simply said I wanted to do it. And it's like, we got you. They do all that stuff on the back end now. And I just described how I wanted it to work. Done. Like these things are getting easier and easier every day. So your challenge with what I just showed you guys, and this is how well can you describe what you want to do and understand. I'm gonna give you this. This is a cheat code. Anytime you attempt to use a shortcut, it's going to bite you in the butt. Don't take any shortcuts, right? Like when you're typing a prompt, then we say, how do I do this? What is this? Is it supposed to know what this is? Tell it what this is. Be explicit. The more explicit you are, the better outcomes you're going to get. So don't be afraid, but maybe I'll come on with a simple app idea, right? And then show you how to do this. But hey, people who are out there who you think you can't do this, you want to hire me to do it. Like I really want to, I'm working on this business in a box concept where I will take your business idea, and I will do all of that, the market research and vetting it and helping you identify a client and the path to actually produce the product, whether it's a B2C product, a B2B product, whether it's an application, again, a service or whatever, helping you stand that up, understanding what your marketing needs rollout would be, helping you understand what the costs potentially are, giving you a roadmap of how you can start to build income with that thing. What's another area from a marketing perspective? What does that rollout look like? What does the back end support like? But to give you all of that, boom, 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 I don't know, probably I would give you that for I don't know, probably 299, 300, because it's not, if you can answer the questions the right way, producing that is not that difficult. And then the real trick is to take that output and then have that turned into an app that you actually use to operate the startup of that business with. Ain't nobody doing that. So anyway, all right, I'm out of here, y'all. Dang, I got stuff to do. All right. If you didn't see this from the beginning, go back and watch it from the beginning. But again, I'm trying to give you free game, y'all. All right. One last chance for final questions. Go read your output. It's going it's it's been life changing for me, and I wrote it. So Celestial Mandate. If you don't know what that is, stay tuned because it's coming. Let me show you one thing really quickly here. How we create some of these assets. All right. So uh, this is an ad that I worked on this morning. What's the final question? All right. So I'm just going to show you guys this. So if you don't know what it is, you'll have an idea. Check this out.
Did you finally hire a coach?
No.
Oh,
Why?
come on.
Why?
You've been so clear and focused.
It's Celestial Mandate, my AI.
If you're making big life moves and still winging it with vague horoscopes, you're flying blind in a turbulent sky. Most likely you're stuck in indecision. Following vibes alone causes missed timing windows because life moves faster than guesswork. If you want traction and purpose, you need cosmic clarity and weekly actions. The solution? Celestial Mandate's 90-day life map. Do this weekly, and in just 30 days, you'll move with timing, strategy, and soul-aligned momentum toward what's next. Download Celestial Mandate now and activate your next 90-day cosmic plan.
All right, this is an ad I'm working on. So again, how long did it take me to do that? I don't know. Dropped in the script and walked away. It's not much at all. So this is why great code is needed. I want to teach people how to do this stuff. All right, I am so out of here. I think it's time, don't you? All right, I'm done.